Hello everyone, Radar here with another grounded video. Today's video I'm going over the elevator idea that was passed on to me by my viewer Abide51. It's the one elevator that I have found to work well for me in the game to where it's kind of Radar proof, I don't die. You guys watch my viewer streams. I go into viewers' worlds that have elevators and I struggle because I'm used to bounce towers, not elevators. But I gutted out my bounce tower and put an elevator right here in the center. Now if I walk up to that plank, and it zips right up to the top. The only thing it cost me was time and some grass. Man, I had to make a couple extra bounce webs of it because I can pick them up and move them. I didn't lose any when I had to change out where they were sitting. I'll go ahead and pause real quick. I'm going to go over to my red base and show you kind of an easy way of what I went ahead and did that. So give me one moment while I pause, and I'll be over there in just a second. Alright, so here we are at my red base across the map from here. And you can see I've also converted this one as well. It's a little bit iffy sometimes, but if I get kicked out of it, like, going backwards, which is what happens to me a lot, I can land on these little shelves that I left, or land on the tops of the walls. Go ahead and drop all that down to the bottom. Or not. We'll get down there eventually. Now, the nice thing about building in 7.0 is, yes, it takes grass planks, but I can come over to this grass pallet, take the full pallet with me, which after talking to the community manager, he will confirm tomorrow that that is how it's supposed to work. You can take the pallet with you, bring the I brought all my pallets right over here, laid them out on the ground, and started building. And you see, I left in the little corner pieces so I have something to land on just in case. I also have that so when I was building and I needed to reach the platforms, I could land on those and kind of work my way to get to it. So it was a little bit helpful there. Let me go and put that pallet back. What the heck is that? More weird noises. Oh, something's angry. Let me put this pallet back on the shelf real quick. Now that works well with the top shelves. The bottom shelf, the bottom ones, if I take them out, I would have to remove that floor right there to put them back. So keep that in mind. If you remove the bottom ones, you're going to have to remove the floor right above it. What is that noise? Oh, check it out. Fireflies, guys. He's always asking where the fireflies are. But I've always found mine over here in the haze. Not in the haze, the hedge. I keep calling it the haze. I don't know why. Over here by the hedge. There's two of them just chilling, doing their thing. Alright, I'm going to switch over to creative, and we'll go over the simple setup for this this elevator. It's not going to be that difficult, really. It's actually really cheap. So, one second, let me pause and switch over. Let me find my mouse. There it is. Alright, be right back. Alright, and we're back. Now I'm here in creative. Oops. And you see it's just the tower, just the elevator itself. So if you don't want to have to build the whole tower around it, you want to do it the cheapest way possible, this is the way to do it. You can use grass, weed stems, whatever. Recommend using grass just because it's that nice smooth wall going all the way up. You want to have your grass floors turned sideways like this. And you put your bounce webs down and you can just walk up to the wall. I recommend if you're facing it from the left, the third plank. Get a little closer to the wall. And up you go. I have that there just to, as I hit the top, it pushes me forward a little bit. I'm going to go ahead and start setting up another one on that foundation I have right there, which I don't know why it's there, but we're going to use it. So first thing we do is we're going to get out our blueprint for the wall. Make sure it's that little pink arrow that's pointing over to the right. It's kind of hard to see. There you go. You can see it pointing to the right. So now I have it pointing directly at me. You want that to point the same way the whole way up. Now I wouldn't go any higher than this. And what we're going to do is we're going to get a bounce web. I'm only going to do a few levels of this because it's rinse and repeat the whole way up. You want the big rounded area directly across my character up against the wall as close as it'll go. And then we're going to take this up and land on the wall. And you can do this with weed stems on your shoulder. You can even do this while moving pallets. So you want the floor to be this direction, how the floors go parallel to the wall, not perpendicular. This is the perpendicular. You don't want this direction. Sometimes it sticks there a little bit. You want it to go this way, like that. It keeps spinning because I bumped something on my keyboard, or my keypad, sorry. And then before you place this bounce web, my advice, not open your menu, but to get out at least the blueprint. Get the blueprint for the next wall going down, so that the bounce web doesn't block it. Because the bounce web will block it if you don't do the blueprint first. I've ran into that issue multiple times when I was fixing the tower over at Red Base. Luckily, I could just move it in 7.0. I don't have to delete it. So if you're thinking about, changing the way things look, especially with bounce towers, wait till 7.0 because you can move your bounce webs versus having to destroy them. But the reason I was saying, I'll show you. We put this down. There it is. Basically, you want to see that big flat side to the left, to my right over here. You want that away from the wall. So if you put the flat side away from the wall that you're going to be using as your elevator wall, then you're good to go. Yeah, it's blocking it. So what I do is I can pick that up. Because you, like you say, you can pick them up in 7.0. And it's still blocking because it's still too close. You keep hitting the wrong button. I'm trying to move it without deleting it. Obviously, creative mode doesn't really matter, so I'm just going to delete it to get rid of it. And then, now that it's gone, that's why you always want to put your blueprints down before you put down the bounce webs. Rotate this so that the big curvy side is up against the wall again. Now the trick is to land here. I would recommend if you have Daredevil, have that on, so that in case you miss, because I've missed quite a few times, you don't die. Also have a respawn point, like a lean-to or something, really close by. So in case you do happen to die because you don't have Daredevil, you don't respawn way on the other side of the yard. You respawn right next to where your backpack is. So it makes things a little bit simpler. So that's something I always recommend. If you're doing any kind of build, always put a lean-to close by. So one, you have a place to sleep. Two, if you die from falling off, you can respawn right next to where you're working at. And you don't have to run very far to get your backpack. And then I'm gonna just do this top floor real quick, and then we'll hop down and go for a little bit of a elevator ride. All right, now this elevator does, if you leave it like this, it does work from both sides. This side's a little bit more risky-ish, but it still works. So you actually have a two-sided elevator. And it works well. You saw how I converted it into my towers. I gutted out the tower really quick, really easy. It only took me, well, my towers are tall, so it took a little while. But if you have towers that aren't too tall, or you're just building straight from the ground, I mean, this is the easiest way to do it. Literally, if you have a lot of grass nearby, just every 2 levels, rounded side against the wall. Make sure the walls are all facing the same way the whole way up. And like I said, I like to use this third spot where it kind of leans in just a little bit, kind of curves in, and I walk into that. Now, one thing that was pointed out to me by a viewer is if you do it this way, you do risk it breaking because that's the only wall holding everything up. So you can, if you really wanted to make this a double-sided elevator, while you're building it, you could do that. And now I have a double-sided elevator. So that is just that's the elevator that I've found that I like, and I've been waiting to find one that I liked. I've tried out a few myself, and I could not find them. So thank you, Abide51, for this idea. Thank you for giving me permission to make the video. Like I said, I would definitely give you that shout out because it is your idea. I didn't come up with this. You did. You definitely did a great job with this. Like I said, and guys, I know there's people who've made elevators and y'all don't come there. Oh, there's way cheaper ways to do it. I get that. They don't work for me. This does. That's why I finally made a video on this, because this is the one that works for me. But if you guys like this content, would like to see more like it, go and hit the like and subscribe button, hit the bell for notifications, and until our next video, y'all have a good one.